G'day viewers, and welcome back to the channel. This morning's episode I would like to discuss standalone beams and how they are different to standalone purlins. I recently had a project where we had a beam that was to be site welded. Now it was a beam that didn't have any attached parts, so it wasn't allocated an assembly drawing, although it is allocated an assembly number, but there will be no assembly drawing created. It's a standalone single part that is site welded. Now this particular object is similar to a purlin in that a purlin is a beam that has some holes and some cuts but doesn't have any attached parts. So with some of the filtering systems built into advanced steel, they are treated differently. Now if it is a beam and not a purlin, it doesn't get treated the same, so it doesn't get allocated the part number on the marking plans, which was causing me some grief on my marking plans. So I reached out to the Autodesk community via the Autodesk Forum, and I was provided a solution from Sebastian. So big call out and a big thanks for Sebastian for responding to my query. So if I just go to the Autodesk Forum here, we can see there's my question here about standalone part filter, and Sebastian has provided an in-depth review or response of how to solve this. Now this is the key ingredient here, this piece of script. So I'll take a copy of this and add to the information in this video. The information that Sebastian provided is in German, but if you know your way around advanced steel, you'll soon understand the process that he is explaining. So thanks very much, Sebastian. You've provided me with a very handy solution so we can move forward with this issue that we came across. Okay, so I'm just going now to into our model, so I can talk to you about what we've got going on here. So we've got this model. It's a very challenging curved roof. However, this particular beam, we felt, it's a single part and standalone. There's no other objects, but it's going to be site welded at the ends and to these supporting beams in the middle. So that is a bit like a purlin, but it's a beam. So I'll now take you to a drawing. So this is a drawing or a marking plan where we call up our assemblies to allow people to then go find the assembly drawing, and we can see here that there's a truss and it's given an assembly number, and this particular standalone beam is also allocated an assembly number, which is useless because there is actually no assembly drawing created because it is a single part only. So what we have done, so we'll just need to go, let me just do a zoom extents here, zoom extents layer. Okay, so I've just gone to my other screen here, which has our management tools in here. So I'll just talk you through where to find this information. So if you read through if you were to read through the information that Sebastian put onto the forum, he'll go through where you need to add in these rows into the databases to make it happen. Now the important thing to note here is, for some reason, this particular table in the database doesn't allow you to add a row in management tools. You have to go to and use the SQL, the SQL Server Management tool, and that is where you add a row in. So it's a bit it's not the easiest thing. It's not as easy as adding a model role into the databases. There's a little bit of work you have to do with the SQL databases, but that's probably a topic for a longer video when I get a chance to provide some information about SQL databases. So we'll just come back to our databases here, and we'll just type in here det obj for detail object, and if we come to this table called det object qualifier filter, there have been some filters that have been pre-populated. So all of these bar one come out of the box. So they are filters that have been built by Autodesk to assist with filtering. So you can see there's one for cold rolled, site bolts and whatnot. So they have already been created and saved into the system. So if I just scroll down here, there we go. So here I've added in a row. I've called it standalone underscore beams with a run name of standalone beams. And here is the script that Sebastian kindly provided, and we've added that row in. So we've added that row in via the Management Studio. So we'll do another video on that when we have some more time. So that is the process of creating a filter type. So we'll go a little bit. Let's come back to our main screen here and back to our model. Right, and I can open up my, no, I don't want my drawing process, I want my drawing style. So model objects. So model objects, I've created a model object here, and I've called it sysdef standalone beams, and there has a model object of beam or curved beam or model roles, and here is where this filter comes into play. And we have, if it will click for me, standalone beams. So that is now using that as a filter to only select those. And if I go to my drawing styles, I had it open already, go to my presentation, and we can see here on line 20 I've got a model object which is my sysdef standalone beams, its presentation type and how I want it to be labeled. Now I've got this a little bit lower on the presentation style because I wanted to show you first how it would show up. So this is line 20 is not actually where it will go in the end, but I've just moved it down to show you. So if I come back to our drawing, we can see here, excuse me, that that is allocating it as an assembly. So going to our drawing style and moving this particular model object further up the list so it gets taken care of first. So we're just going to put it underneath. Well, actually, we'll show what happens if we put it above the cold rolls. We apply that and we use that. You'll see that the cold roll beams or the purlins will actually show up in the model, but they'll show up as red, which is not what we want. But you can see them being allocated a part number, and our standalone beam is also being allocated a part number. That's actually not what we want, but you can see how that works. What I actually want, in certain marking plans we remove our purlins and our light gauge steel so that only the heavy steel is shown. So we'll go back to our drawing style, and I select on my what is now row 16, move it below the cold roll, apply that and attach that to the drawing and use that drawing style. And you can see now the purlins are not shown, and our standalone beam has been allocated the part number and not the assembly number. Okay, so that was the process that we went through to create this new filter for standalone beams. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do something similar for standalone plates. There might be cases where we have standalone plates that need to be treated this way, but I haven't gone in and tested that. And there might be other standalone objects that may need the same sort of treatment, which others may want to do. So hopefully that might help some people out if they are experiencing similar issues with their marking plans and the allocation of the assembly number or the part number to the objects. But that's how it works. So hopefully that might help somebody out in the future. So if you like that, please subscribe, hit the notification button if you want to see more of this type of content. So again, thanks for watching, and remember, if your job's worth doing, it's worth doing right.